This is the Angels POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Angels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls, and welcome back to the latest edition of the Locked On Angels POSTCAST. Coming at you live, as always, after every single Angels game, right here live on the Locked On Angels YouTube channel, and after the fact, both on the channel and wherever the heck you get the Locked On Angels audio podcast feed. If you don't know who I am, what's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson. Spent 4 years covering UCLA sports with the Daily Bruin. Had a rough last night watching the Bruins. Shout out to all of you who joined me on the first edition of the Locked On UCLA postcast this season last night. And shout out to all of you who might have watched the Rams squad show earlier today. But it's your team every day with Locked On, the Locked On Podcast Network. And our team is the Angels. And the Angels do pick up a nice 3-0 win in Houston on Sunday to beat the Astros. And I'll be honest, this is kind of I'm conflicted with this. I'm sure you guys are as well, because of course you want to celebrate this win, but very scary scenes today, right? No other way to put it. Don't really think I've seen the type of injury that Taylor Ward suffered today. For those who do not know, Taylor Ward crashed into the left field wall there in Houston. The Crawford boxes, the little very interesting dimensions there in left center field. Taylor Ward, I know we can criticize certain aspects of his game, but he was putting his all into that play, running hard to the wall, and unfortunately, he basically just smashes right into it. His face is the first thing that makes contact with the wall, and he suffers what they're calling a pretty serious facial laceration. If you don't know what that means, he had a very deep cut on his face right above his eye, and he was carted off. This is kind of a scary scene when you see someone crash into the wall like that. You don't know if it's a concussion. You don't know if there's, an injury to the eye area, specifically like the actual eyeball, right? So, you saw some of the emotions on some of the teammates' faces. Luis Rengifo was all of us, when he kind of went down, put his hands over his face like he couldn't believe it. But the good thing is Taylor Ward is just fine. And it is nice to say that we won this game today for Taylor Ward. You know how excited I am when we have a game where Jose Soriano pitches like he did. You know how exciting it always is to beat the Houston Astros like the Angels did today. But of course, you have to start by saying, Taylor Ward, scary scene. We hope you are okay. But with all that being said, shout out to everybody in here. Thanks for the patience. I know it took me some time to get here. Been a crazy kind of 24 hours for me doing UCLA at midnight last night. Wasn't able to do the Angels show because of the UCLA game. Then did the Rams show this morning, and now the Angels today, combined with everything else that goes on in a holiday weekend, especially when I'm back living at home with my parents. So crazy weekend. Thanks for the patience. But with all that being said, thoughts and prayers to Taylor Ward aside, we can now break down the game. And boy, oh boy, you better know where I'm going with this one.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
The Locked On Player of the Game, Jose Soriano. Come on now, guys. You already know how excited I am. Jose Soriano goes 7 innings, just 1 hit and 3 walks allowed, 8 strikeouts of near perfect pitching performance from Soriano against the Astros. And this season has had its ups and downs for him, right? But in his last 3 games, well, not his last 3. See, look at me giving him more credit. His last 2 games have been phenomenal, right? 4 hits, 0 earned runs, just 1 walk in his last start on the 25th against the Rangers. And then today, 7 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, no earned runs against the Astros. Couple reasons why this is so important. I talk about almost every Jose Soriano start, how this guy is at the very minimum has to be the number 2 pitcher for the Angels for the next couple of years, maybe the next 5 years, right? Because you've got Kikuchi. He's got a couple of years left of being elite, if that. And then even if the Angels do go make a big splash in free agency with the starting pitcher, even if they do that, and Soriano maybe gets pushed down to the 3 for a year or two, then Kikuchi's going to be gone and Soriano's going to be right back to needing to be the top 2 guy in this rotation, right? And you can make the argument he has to be the number 1. So it's very important, as meaningless as this baseball is right now for the Angels on August 31st, a day before Labor Day, still well below 500, right? 8 games below 500. The moral of the story is there's my favorite saying, not only does Jose Soriano show the potential that we all know he has, but he does it in back-to-back games against division rivals. That's what's so impressive. And he does it maybe despite not doing it in the same way each time, if that makes sense. 3 walks today. The control was not always there, but just 1 hit, showing that when he is locating his pitches, when he is ahead of counts, he is unstoppable. 8 strikeouts, right? Just 1 hit. That's unbelievable. The other game against the Rangers, it was a little bit different. 4 hits, not like that's that many anyways, but 4 hits in 5 2/3 innings, only 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, but the pitch count was actually a little bit higher in that game because it was taking him longer to get guys out, right? So there's different ways Jose Soriano could be successful. He has strikeout stuff, but he also has weak contact stuff, right? But he also has lack of control stuff as well. So very encouraging to see that. The ERA on the season is now down to 3.68. So, there's parts of the year when he was breaking 4 and you're very concerned. Soriano has an opportunity to maybe get that ERA below 3.6, maybe below 3.5 before the end of the season. And then you're sitting there going, hey, it's another great start or another great season from him, right? In case some people forget what he's done in his career now, he's officially 88 games into his career, but just 48 starts into his career. And that's what a lot of people seem to forget with him. Because he was so great right away last year as a starter, people seem to not give this guy the same, leash and forgiveness as other guys, right? This guy has less starts than half the guys that we maybe want to defend, right? People are saying give Reed Detmers a shot in the rotation again and all this stuff. Like, guys, Soriano's less experienced than those guys. And yet he's getting it done, right? His ERA in his career now is 3.58. It's 3.68 this season. You kind of starting to know what you're going to get with Soriano. He's occasionally going to have the blow-up game, but he's also occasionally going to have an untouchable game because the stuff is that good. So, yes, JCH, you're exactly right. Great to see him get to double-digit wins on the season at 10-9. And it's not like he's getting crazy run support, and that's why he's 10-9. The guy gets outs, right? And in some of those losses, they're bad starts where he gets blown up, right? But most of the time, he keeps the Angels in the ball game, and tonight was no different. This is a great Astros lineup, right? I get it; they've been a little, underwhelming this year. Pena been amazing, 8.35 OPS, but Yordan Alvarez, he's been hurt a lot. He hasn't been himself necessarily. Altuve's been solid. Correa's been okay since they got him. Jesus Sanchez, kind of an interesting acquisition for them as well, right? But a tough lineup in the sense that there aren't really any breaks, right? Until you get to Melton hitting 9th today, everyone's at least around the 700 OPS. They don't have a couple guys in the 600s like we do. So it's a very impressive start, right? It really is a very impressive start for Soriano, and you got to feel good about him being the number 2 for the next couple of years. And I still do think he has potential to be an ace. I really do think he does. We're going to take our break now. When we come back, we will talk about the lineup because it's not like the Angels' offense was phenomenal. 6 hits is okay, but 3 runs we will take. A very surprise home run. We'll talk about that. And also, Mike Trout. Mike Trout shows some life. The bullpen was great as well. We have to give them their credit. We'll do all of that after our break here on a victory edition, and we haven't been able to say that a lot lately, a victory edition of the Locked On Angels postcast. I will be right back. Now, on this Victory Sunday, and again, shout out to all of you for, understanding that I couldn't do it yesterday, but we are back here on this Victory Sunday, where today's show is brought to you by Upside. Angels fans, are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code SEASON and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You could make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using my limited time promo code SEASON for a limited time 25-cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code SEASON. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. Today's show also brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is almost here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So, are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. And finally, today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. The daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right means cashing in. With football back, Prize Picks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes all in less than 60 seconds. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Amen. Back here live on a victory edition of the Locked On Angels postcast. Angels pick up a win on Sunday in Houston. You love to see that. And you love to see back-to-back wins against Houston, right? Of course, nobody's surprised that the Angels won last night because I didn't do the show, and they always win when I don't do the show. But back-to-back wins against Houston, it's nice to see that this team can continue to keep the trend of being competitive against good teams. They're nowhere near consistent enough to be a really competitive baseball team that's in any sort of playoff race. But if the Angels right now, in this current form, are already competitive at times against the elite teams in this league, just wait until they start being a little bit more consistent. Then we're actually going to see a scenario where the Angels are winning more series than they're losing, having a positive record, being above 500, and maybe finally getting to that promised land of the AL wildcard, which we have been waiting years and decades for. Let's talk about the hitting. Couple bright spots. First and foremost, Mike Trout, 2 for 5 with a pair of doubles in this one, including an RBI, including a run. Despite all the criticism, despite many, including myself, saying he is certainly below what his standard is, he's still got the third highest OPS on the Angels. Only Neto and Taylor Ward are above him. Of course, Scheinel's still out. His OPS would be above, I think, at this point as well. Maybe not, honestly, but love to see. If you're going to tell me the Angels are only going to have 6 hits in a ball game, I would say 2 things. One, I hope our starting pitcher did well. Not only did a starting pitcher do well, it was my beloved starting pitcher, Jose Soriano. But 2 of the 6 hits coming from Trout, you love to see that with how bad he has been. Joe Adell having a hit is always great as well. Oswald Peraza, though, he is the unsung hero in this ball game. 2 for 4, including a solo shot. His first homer as an Angel. It's absolutely incredible that it's taken him this long, but also that incredible that he even did it, right? So Oswald Peraza, who now has 4 homers on the season. The average is still 160 on the season, and he has not been great, but he hasn't been terrible, let's be honest. His last 7 games, a 267 average with now the home run, 3 RBIs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, 2 runs, and a stolen base, right? But Oswald Peraza, good for him. That's all we can say there. It's not like this guy was going to contribute to this team this year if they were being competitive. But now that they're not, as much as I don't want to admit it, this is still another one of those guys that's technically in this young core. He's not in the core, but he's still a 25-year-old that the Angels acquire with the hope that he can maybe live up to the potential that he used to have as a high draft pick and a high-ranked prospect, right? So guys like Larry are absolutely right when they say Peraza could be worth keeping around just because he's 25, right? But you do get to a point where it's like you can't just keep keeping a guy around without him proving anything. We need him to actually start executing. And so, again, as much as we are furious with the state of the team this season, this last month, these last 31 days are a great opportunity for, Zach Neto has nothing to prove as much as we want him to do well. Nolan Schanuel, if he was healthy, he'd have nothing to prove, in my opinion. Jose Soriano, you can make the argument already that we kind of know whether you like it or not, he's our number 2, and I think he's good enough. Some people don't, but he doesn't really have anything to prove either. But Mike Trout, you'd like to prove that he can play baseball still. And then guys like Oswald Peraza, Bryce T, Lugo if he gets an opportunity, Paris if he ever gets an opportunity, right? Those types of guys, that's what the last month of the season is about. And so you got to give credit, right? In a game where Lugo gets an opportunity, 0 for 4 with the strikeout, not great. In a game where Bryce T doesn't get an opportunity, certainly I'd expect Taylor Ward to be maybe out a couple days, right? I mean, I don't know how long it takes to heal a large cut like that. It's not like it's a long-term injury, but there's no need to rush him either. So maybe an opportunity for a Lugo to start every game now, an opportunity for Bryce T to start every game now, and then for Oswald Peraza to maybe sneak in for a start or two as well. Nathan, you're right. He says Peraza will get a shot this last month and spring training. That's exactly what he should do. Larry's saying, where's Paris? He had this kind of injury that, happened, and they were hoping to be 10 days, and it was 20, and we'll see. I think he will hopefully be back in the next week or so. I really, really, really want to see Kyron Paris have an opportunity. But yeah, in case you forget, he got hurt in July. He was actually having it was a diving catch where they weren't sure what it was. I believe it's part of his hand. I don't remember which part exactly. But it's kind of been a weird thing where they haven't really explained the injury too much. So hopefully, Kyron can be called up to the Angels soon and given an opportunity to do what we all think he can do. I don't know about you, but I still think there's a scenario where Kyron Paris can be a respectable big leaguer. He's no different than an Oswald Peraza, right? He's no different than a Nico Cavadas, guys like that we're giving an opportunity. So why can't we give Kyron Paris an opportunity? He's younger and has more upside than any of those guys, right? So we'll see what happens there. Mahoko is right. We're hoping Schanuel can come back in the middle of the month, but also no need to rush it, right? There's no need to rush Nolan Schanuel when we have nothing to play for, and he doesn't really have anything to prove. Guys like Kyron Paris, maybe you rushed a little bit knowing this might be your best shot to be on the Angels roster next year. Guys like Lugo, Cavadas, Bryce T, all the other guys we've been saying. But the moral of the story, this is a good win for the Angels. Nice to have back-to-back wins, and really nice to win this game for Taylor Ward, given the scary injury and what happened there. Nathan brings up a good point, saying that there's vision concerns for Taylor Ward, especially after the last time. And yeah, another thing on Taylor Ward and the injury, the guy's had some really bad injury luck, right? Just bad luck, right? Whether it's multiple injuries around the face area, some fluky ones as well. They're kind of, they're not ones that can be prevented, right? And that's why you feel bad for him. It's not like, oh, he's injuring the same, muscle here every time, and he's not doing enough to, heal that part of his body or stretch before the game or eat right or sleep right, whatever. The guy got hurt running into left field, right? There's not much else you can do. But hopefully he's okay. Concussion, like Aaron says, would be a problem. But either way, this is another thing. Just don't rush it back. Whether it's whether it's just the cut, whether it's a concussion, whether it's more stuff, no need to rush him back. Honestly, Taylor Ward doesn't have much to prove at this point in the season either. Would love for that to be a Lugo or a Kyron Paris anyway. So nice to see us win 2 games. We're not going to lose another series. And we can maybe win a series if we can beat Houston tomorrow, 11 a.m. first pitch, which means game will end around 2 once again. I'll try not to be as late this time. But yeah, shout out to everybody in here. Have a great rest of your Sunday afternoon and evening and night. Hopefully you have some nice Labor Day plans tomorrow as well. I have got some all weekend. It's been a crazy weekend for me. But hopefully you guys are having a nice time with family, with friends, enjoying the day off tomorrow if you get it. Yes, Mahoko, I'll see you guys all back here tomorrow. I'm going to go cry about UCLA a little bit more, then spend some time with my family. And yeah, shout out to Taylor Ward. Ward the Warrior is what Hydro says. Yes, thoughts and prayers with him. And a great win for our Angels. Let's not forget, a great win for our Angels. Take care. Have a great day. Have a great Labor Day tomorrow. I'll see you back here. And go Angels. Take care.